So you're thinking about buying a house somewhere in San Diego this year? Well, you're probably gonna wanna know what's actually happening in the real estate market here, and that's exactly what we're gonna cover in this video. And there's even been a few articles coming out lately talking about how housing is on a rebound and how we could get back to pre-pandemic times, which were very, very stable times. So I wanna talk a little bit about the data and also talk about what I've been seeing on the battlefield here in San Diego. So let's go ahead and get after it now. Welcome back. If this is your first time here and you'd like to know more about San Diego real estate or life here in San Diego, make sure you tap that subscribe button below. My name is Nick, and you guys are reaching out all the time, and we absolutely love helping you out. So if you're thinking about making a move here in a week, a month, a year, make sure you shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call so we can help you save a lot of time and just help you make a smooth move here to San Diego. Now, as I mentioned, we're gonna talk a lot about the market right now because markets shift, and they have definitely shifted over the past year, and they can shift yearly, quarterly, even monthly, down to weekly sometimes. And right now, it's really rates that have the biggest control on the market. And if you're in San Diego, our inventory is just so low. So this is causing, multiple bids again. Rates have kind of been, sticking between 6 and 7%, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And it's really caused buyers to really believe, okay, rates are probably going to stick around here for a while. So let's just go ahead and find that perfect home. So as long as people are focusing on the right neighborhood and they're crystal clear on what they need out of their house, they are putting offers on homes. How do I know this? Because I have a lot of buyers who I'm always helping, and this is exactly what's happening is properties are being listed on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and they're being shown throughout the weekend. Next thing you know, the listing agent's calling for offers on Monday, maybe Tuesday, and they're shuffling through multiple offers and sending counters. So it's a little bit of a bidding war, and it's just what's gonna happen when there's low supply and a good amount of demand. So it's not seeming to slow down here. There's a lot of great job opportunities. We're not seeing it with unemployment. So things are moving. So I just want you guys to know what's happening. I mean, there's a lot of doom and gloom out there on YouTube and the media talking about how our prices are just going down and real estate market's gonna crash and all this stuff with the thumbnails that have fire on it and all that stuff. I wanna let you guys know I'm out on the battlefield helping buyers and sellers. So this is realistically what's happening, but let's dive a little bit into these interest rates so I can show you what they've been doing. So keep in mind, we are getting into that springtime, that summertime when home sales really start to happen a little bit more. It's a little bit more of a frenzy. Kids are out of school, weather gets better, so people are out there. We have a little bit more buyer competition and maybe hopefully a little bit more inventory. So keep that stuff in mind when you're looking in these certain times of years as well. But you can see right here that rates as of today, middle of March, we're at about 6.5%, and they've really jumped around. They were kind of stuck in one place for a little bit, which is when activity really started to take off. But I want to show you guys just real quick right here that let's go back to about August. August rates were in the 5s right now. And this is last year. And once we got to about September, this is when you started to see all that news of home sales are down, prices are going down, rates are up, right? Rates did go up. They got into the 6s. This is where people started to get really spooked, especially a lot of my buyers. They were like,
whoa, our rate is completely different. It doesn't even make sense for us to buy a home at these prices. So
for this good 3-month mark, all the way, you can see rates jumped up to 7.5, and then they dropped pretty suddenly in November in San Diego for the most part. And this drop right here in November is what really set us up for this coming year. And you can see when rates were all in the 7s right here, this is when I was seeing the best negotiability happen. Although we didn't still have a lot of inventory here, people didn't know what was happening. So people were starting to sell, people were pricing too high still. So I was seeing a ton. Not only was I seeing it, I was getting seller concessions for my buyers. So seller concessions were happening for a good 3 months. Keep that in mind. Media was making it seem all crazy, like it was happening nonstop. It was really a 3-month tear. Now we got into January, and you can see rates really stuck around the 6s for a while. And this is where people were kind of coming out of the woodworks like, okay, I think this is our new normal. This is it. Let's go find our house. So they stuck in that 6 for a while right here, as you can see, all the way through to about, let's go March right here. March, they got up to about 7%. So this past 2 weeks, I have seen a little bit less buyer demand. It's kind of weird though, because it's been very competitive still, and it has a lot to do with the inventory, which we're going to touch base on and look at. but people are still out there. I think they have the incomes. The unemployment's not really happening like the news has been saying here in San Diego. So people have some really strong and steady jobs. But overall, you can see right here, about 2 weeks ago, rates got up to 7%. Now, this did spook some people and people sat down, but guess what? Rates are back at 6.5%. So as long as we stay in that 6 to 7% range, I think we're going to still keep seeing a lot of activity. But the real question is, did we hit the bottom of that last real estate cycle with prices? Well, a lot of people are saying that Q4 of 2022 was the bottom of our last cycle. Now, when we look at the data right here, it's kind of pointing towards that may be correct, to be honest. Now, you can see all the way back, and prices have always been on the up ever since about 2020, as you can see, from 585 to our new median, which is going to be about $757,000. So if you were in 2-3 years ago on a house, you are very excited because it's likely your price went up a lot and you built some really solid equity, and that'll continue to happen. But you can see we kind of peaked in about May 2022, so just less than a year ago. We peaked at the median home price being about $855,000 in all of San Diego County. You can see we went on a downward trend because of those rates, which I showed you. Look what's happening here. We're at about 750 in November. And like I said, things were starting to uptick, a lot more activity, people moving in January. And now we're seeing a rise. So we're at about 757,000 at the median price. This will be very interesting to take a look at in about a month or two. So definitely subscribe. I always go over this stuff a couple times, usually once a quarter, maybe twice a quarter. So it's really interesting stuff that you need to pay attention to. But I want to share with you guys, real estate is so local. It comes down to the neighborhood, to some of these streets. And I want to show you guys a really good example because, yeah, prices are going to go up and down in San Diego County, but take a look at this right here. So Encinitas, their median sale price is 1.325. That's down about 20% from last year. Go look at San Marcos, not too far away, maybe a 20-30 minute drive. They're up about 32% in their median sale price year over year. So they're over $1 million now, which makes me think,
man, I should have bought a few properties there last year.
Just kidding. You're always going to kick yourself. Don't try and time this market. It's never going to work out. And if you do try to time it, you're probably going to be sitting on the sidelines for 2, 3, 4 years. Guess what? You're probably going to be priced out. So just pay attention to stats like this, watch these neighborhoods, and get crystal clear on your visions on where you want to be and which neighborhood is going to appeal to you. And guess what? We have all the videos you could need right here on this channel where I go over vlog tours. I show you guys everything and just help educate you guys on making that right purchase. So reach out if you have questions. Make sure you look at some of these videos. But yeah, knowing the neighborhood is going to be extremely crucial. And we're really just seeing a very big wealth migration down here to San Diego over the past few years. People are moving from the Bay Area. You have New York, people from all over the United States. And one of the biggest inbound players we've been seeing is Los Angeles. Just a quick 2-hour drive away, but you have so many people relocating down here for better climate. You want better job opportunities because you have a booming biotech, you have regular technology, healthcare, defense. I mean, the list goes on. And not to mention, a lot of people are coming here to retire and live that good life and finish out their life. So can't blame people for that. And also another thing that's going to really bring a lot of people here, and this is just about to pass in April, is Los Angeles is implementing a new tax on some really high net worth people. So if you own a home anywhere from $5 to $10 million, you're going to be taxed about 4% on that sale when you go to sell. And if you own a $10 million home or more, you're going to be taxed about 5.5% when you go to sell that. So that's going to start in April. So a lot of people that were looking in that luxury market are not going to be buying there. And guess where they're going to be coming? Probably Orange County and right down here to San Diego on these coastal areas. So it's going to bring a lot of demand to this luxury market. So this will be very interesting to see. But I wanted to touch base on our inventory right here because inventory is such a big player on what's happening. And you can see right here that if we go back to one of the higher times we had more units for sale was back in May of 2022. So we had about 6,000, just over 6,000 units for sale, which is great. And you can see it's just been on a very slight, well, kind of a big decline for a long time now. And even we hit the rock bottom in December 2021 at about 2,000 homes for sale. Think about that for a second. We've got about 3.3 million people living in San Diego, and we only had 2,000 homes for sale at one point. Man, crazy. But you can see it's kind of been on the uptick since then. And then July hit, and we've just been going down ever since. And we are now currently at about 27 homes for sale in all of San Diego County. So hopefully it doesn't go much lower. It probably is going to dip, because that's kind of what happens once you dip. It just keeps dipping. There's less options, less people move around. So it'll be very interesting to see. Hopefully summer picks up a little bit, but that's just my 2 cents on the inventory and what's going to happen with prices, and just kind of indicating what's going to happen. So obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or my team. That's what we're here for. We have a channel that's literally dedicated to helping you guys make more informed decisions, whether you're looking in a certain neighborhood, vlog style videos, neighborhood tours, everything to, like I said, help you guys out. So hopefully this was all super helpful, and it would mean the world if you hit that like button. And of course, I will see you guys in the next one.